It takes a little while. It's kind of nighttime. Uh, I believe it's
It's nighttime?
You know what? You're right. It's not nighttime. You guys are in the
It
morning.
was like 8 a.m. when we got there.
Yeah, it's like that.
Sorry.
It's like lunchtime. My mistake. All right, you don't got to attack the DM like that. I get it.
Not an
Always
attack.
attack the DM. Always be
If
attacking.
I'm attacking you, you'll know.
I'm
If the
getting
DM is on the defense, they cannot go on the offense.
my players are mutinying. My players are committing a mutiny. Okay, so it's lunchtime, and it's your guys are Dr. Franklin gets a nice thorough explanation of everything that happened, and you're
I'm
back here
sure
at
he's now convinced.
the. You guys see Jackson Elias waves to you. You can see he's deep deciphering the notes, trying to find the location of the site on his own. So you
Right.
guys now kind of can see kind of like how this kind of branches out if you guys based on what your decisions are.
So as we're
Well,
pulling up, I'm just yes, that wow, that sharp razor in the chest, you say.
Yeah, it was
Interesting,
almost like an
interesting.
auger. She was just going at it.
Hmm.
So Franklin, like, is your character like naturally a skeptic?
I mean, who
I
would
don't
believe that?
I mean, I
yeah,
If it
imagine
I
hadn't
don't
Franklin's
think
seen
like
it.
head in his book, like not paying attention.
yeah, probably. I don't think they're naturally a skeptic, but because they haven't seen it, they're much more inclined to believe that it's just like them. The fact that all of them has them at least a little willing to entertain it, but it's also common for people to share similar like psycho, hallucinations and things like that when in stressful situations. So we're keeping our eye open to the possibility that this is just some type of either drug or airborne or something affecting them as well.
Anywho, I tried to shoot him, but turns out there were no bullet in the chamber.
the fumble, the fumble. Never forget.
Oh, I didn't even bring a gun with me, so
Well, that's surprising. You're American, aren't you?
yes, I felt that has to do with anything.
Well, it's your God-given right.
Second Amendment debate happens in the middle of Peru during a cult mystery.
Well, I don't necessarily agree that a requirement to own a gun to be an American. It doesn't seem it's
Oh no, there's more than that make you
better to
American.
have brought one here.
Should be noted that it was
We
probably a good thing he brought a gun on this trip. Might be a good thing, especially with Ida, which I didn't realize I'm saying it wrong. I
That's
think
cool.
Ida also brought a gun as well.
I'd have brought two guns.
That's right. Yes.
I'm so, am I the only one that didn't bring a gun?
Apparently so,
Is that not
Spectacles.
what you do for an expedition into the wilderness?
Well, typically you have people that handle the security and defense, and I'm not very good with a gun, so I think, huh,
Uh,
perhaps I should look into it.
I
Well,
see. You thought you were coming into this with a bunch of scholars.
That is
Understandable.
typical for these expeditions, and we outsource the security. Yes.
Well, lucky for you, you got me.
well, as
I'd like.
fascinating as all this is, do you want to? I'd like to invite you all over to my room where we can talk about maybe more of the specifics about what we're gonna do next.
Which
That
one
is
was
a
your room
wonderful
again?
idea.
I think it was the one closest to the
This
the
one,
bar in quotes
Okay. All right.
at
All
the
right.
end.
So you got
Your
okay.
room.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. You never know who's listening.
And y'all
Yeah.
can keep talking. I didn't mean to like shut down the PC conversation. I just yeah.
You're good.
Oh no,
You're also a
Dr.
PC.
Franklin definitely takes that as like a good sign. It's like, oh yeah, you're right, and excuses himself from that conversation.
Very good.
Yeah. So next steps, I believe the next steps are either A, be ready to leave out first thing, or B, confront. I'm not sure why we would be confronting the. I mean, the less they know that we know, or the more head start we get, probably the better, I would assume. So I don't know if a confrontation is the best
Well,
form of action, but
I don't know about confrontation, but I'm still of a mind to at least uh, talk to Mr. Larkin. But if I am overruled, then I would accept that.
well, perhaps there's a middle ground here. We talk without giving anything away, see if we can fish for more information.
I think that's a good idea.
Yes.
I'm not really sure what the best idea is. On the one hand, Larkin may or may not be part of a death cult or whatever, and well, if he catches a whiff of us being not so loyal to him, well, who knows what he's got in store. But on the other hand, if we play our cards right, he might just, well, set it up for us and such that we can maybe make it out of this.
I must admit, Mr. Whitaker, James, I'm surprised you're still here.
Well, in that basement, I ain't gonna lie. I was planning to turn tail and run, but when I saw
Sorry,
Trinidad and
Danny.
I got her, and after, Jethro saved her, I'm I can't just leave now. Whatever's happened, it's bigger than me, bigger than my problems, and well, it just wouldn't be godly for me to leave.
Very heroic of you.
No, I wouldn't call it heroic. Just the right thing to do.
I think many would correlate those two things.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm still in it for the money.
There he is.
I You'd best be careful if that letter is to be believed. Journal.
Well, true. I don't really want no Spanish conquistador gold, but if Larkin's got some U.S. dollars in his pocket, I don't mind taking it.
Oh shit. All right.
You're planning to rob the man?
No, no, no. But he's gonna pay me
Ah,
if he knows what's good for him.
For services rendered.
I see.
Speaking of which, what do y'all think is the upside to getting there early?
Well, likely as not, Larkin probably ain't spruced the area up, so we might find something unspoiled by him.
Hmm.
Clues and some such. I don't know. I don't know nothing about detecting.
I will give
I
a
mean,
light hint here. The benefit of going before him is that if he is part of a death cult, you don't really know what his plans are for you once he's done for you with you.
Hmm.
You know, a thought just occurred to me. If we get there early and he is part of a death cult, we don't actually know what his plans are for us when he's done.
yes, I was just about to
Mm,
suggest that
Yeah, what an
I
odd
there would
was
be
thought
less
that
danger.
I
what an
was
odd
thinking
thought
the
that filled
same.
your minds.
Let, less chance of an ambush or whatever.
How
Less
strange.
chance of him setting up something.
Can't believe all four of us had the exact thought.
Oh, no, I was actually going to say something and then there was
Oh,
some
I'm
strange
sorry.
energy in the room. No, no, you're good. Wasn't going to say exactly that, so.
I was also going to mention the less chance of getting an ambush.
I talk too much, man. Fuck. God damn it. Should have just
You
let
know,
it go. I don't know what I was thinking.
if we do get there earlier, maybe Franklin will actually see something and believe me. And he kind of gives him like this look, like,
Oh,
"Come on, dude."
I believe that you saw what you believe that you saw what you saw.
Oh, don't you patronize me, Franklin. You don't believe me a lick.
You could hardly
Well,
blame the good doctor. I
Yeah.
wouldn't
let's
believe it if
say
I hadn't seen it.
Both of you
let's
were
say
there.
I am open
Which is why I
to
do believe it, but I wouldn't if I hadn't seen it.
I
I'm
am open to
fairly sure I
the
do believe it.
idea that it happened because all three of you seem to share the same story. So I'm not discounting it at all. I'm just also curious if there were maybe some airborne contagions or uh, drug paraphernalia or any of that that may have affected all of you and your
Well, I don't do no drugs.
Oh, he just
Well, it
called
yeah,
was
you.
a
yes,
museum
not
story.
willingly, but you may have unwillingly inhaled or you don't know what's down in the basement.
Mm-mm.
You don't smoke?
Nope, don't smoke, don't drink.
Huh.
He just called you guys addicts. Oh, shit.
I don't smoke or drink.
There's nothing wrong with a little drink.
I enjoy a fine glass occasionally at night in the study.
Wait, are we in prohibition times?
This is prohibition, but it's legal
I
in
have never drank a
Peru.
day in
Yeah,
my
in
life.
Peru. There's no need to. I think you're safe here, Doctor.
If you know the right people, if you ever want to, you can look me up.
I couldn't possibly jot down name. I'm saying,
Y'all need Jesus.
God fearing man James. Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys kind of know what you guys got the options in front of you.
Yeah. I guess, well, I'll just say, I mean, I don't disagree with going early, but I do worry about Larkin. He'll be an unknown, whereas if we go with him and we all watch each other's backs, maybe we can preempt any danger. But I do see the benefit of going early. I don't like not having eyes on him.
I have a thought, and I would not suggest it normally, but we seem to have some rough and tumble capable hands here. Perhaps we go to him before we leave and hinder his journey.
Interesting.
I'm not
James
Attack
opposed.
him?
looks at Franklin and goes, "What you mean by that?
Well, we make it difficult for him to travel.
What do you what do you want to break his kneecaps? What are you talking about?"
I would never suggest such unless you think that would work.
Franklin, we're not going to attack the man.
He
We've
just hit
no
you with
real
the.
evidence that he's involved. He could just be a victim of all this.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
which is why maybe disable a vehicle or make it hard for him to be able to travel. I didn't mean
Oh, see, that I could
explicitly
do.
bodily harm.
I
Can't
That
go
I
really.
very far without a map.
yeah,
We
I can bust up a car, no problem. That's nothing.
I can't believe you did the dot 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 unless.
Unless
I can't believe you just hit us with the dot 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 unless. That's crazy.
so I would never suggest it unless.
That's actually so fucking funny.
This just in: the least likely character is in fact in favor
That's
of
literally why I
violence.
was laughing so hard. I couldn't believe.
I want to go on record and say they weren't talking about violence. They meant like sabotaging their ability. But when you mention violence, they're like, well, unless you think that will work.
It's so funny.
Incredible.
Yeah,
well,
really.
I would
I'm
like to
still of a
propose.
mind to talk to him.
I'd like to propose that, Josie, if you and I want to talk to him, we can maybe get some information and provide a distraction while our compatriots here do what needs to be done.
Sounds like a reasonable idea.
Divide and conquer. Best way to accomplish multiple things at once. Yes, I agree.
Alrighty then.
All
That
right.
means me and Franklin are gonna go bust up the feller's car.
Hey.
Maybe a more subtle form of sabotage, but yes.
And we don't really have a way of contacting him, right? But we know what
You know
hotel
where
he's
he
staying
is.
at.
He's in the Hotel España. So
Okay.
both groups will have to go there.
Yeah.
So I will just give it a little. So Jackson Elias is hard at work. When you guys go downstairs to talk to him to tell him kind of your plan, he's in agreement. He's going to agree pretty much whatever the group wants to do. But he will say he won't have finished deciphering it till late tonight. So Friday night, Larkin leaves. His expedition leaves at 8 a.m. on Sunday. So you guys will have to leave Saturday morning to get ahead of him. So you have kind of like essentially the rest of the day to kind of like do this stuff. Um, you guys can push if you guys want to leave early. You guys can kind of push it to maybe like Saturday afternoon and stuff. But there is kind of like timing stuff, so keep that in mind.
Mhm. Well, and that's if Larkin is able to leave.
That's true. You guys could add. Yeah, that's very true.
Actually, a thought has occurred to me. Do we know what car is Larkin's?
Hmm.
No.
No, that's where your roles will have to come in when you head to the hotel.
I might
Oh
need some
wait,
reconnaissance.
well, that's a pretty
Just
easy fix.
destroy
Never mind.
all
I
of
know
the
exactly what to do.
cars.
Quite a. You guys will have to do uh some investigating because you guys are investigators. Get it?
Hmm.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
So you guys are gonna head to the Hotel España, correct?
Yeah. As we do, I want to pull Dr. Franklin aside and just say, "Hey, can you keep an eye on James and make sure there's nothing too flashy? I don't think we need the extra attention."
Certainly, we will go for a subtle form of sabotage, something that doesn't make it so obvious.
Much appreciated.
Okay.
Of course.
So so to make sure that Ida doesn't attack the DM again, it is nighttime now. You guys have to eat after
I
your
didn't
ordeal.
attack you.
So just to make sure that the DM, the keeper, because I don't know if I told you, but in Call of Cthulhu, you're not. I'm not a DM. I'm the keeper. It changes, but I just keep saying DM because that's what everybody's used to. But
Yeah, I will forget.
yeah, I know that's why I don't I don't really mind.
What do you keep? Like what is
So
the
it's technically what I'm called is the keeper of arcane lore because I'm the narrator, so I'm technically telling a story to like everybody.
Okay.
So instead of dungeon master, so that's why it's like in short, it's the keeper, but the full title is the keeper of arcane lore, which is a lot. But most people are used to DM, so I use it interchangeably.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. You don't have enough badges to tame me.
Yeah, there you go, dude. I only got 2 badges right now. He's the level 80 Charizard. So you travel. It's late. You guys have finished eating. You travel to the Hotel Spania, and you can see that it's a small. It's still a nice hotel, but it's smaller. It's more quaint, and you see some trucks outside of it, and you see a little bit of you see some like pack mules and things of that nature as well. And this is 1920, so I don't really know if there's actually like trucks or anything like that, but there's like smaller like kind of cars. So that are meant to kind of like carry things. And you see a lot of like pack mules and things of that nature.
before we split up, are there any subjects we should perhaps avoid bringing up with Mr.
Um,
Larkin?
Probably the fact that we plan on leaving ahead of him.
Oh, yes, I meant beyond that.
Well, I will have to be pretty vague about Mendoza. I'd still like to ask questions, but I don't want to let on that we know anything beyond the mundane.
Understandable. I think I was thinking about asking about. We've been hearing rumors around town about some kind of cult in the area. See how he reacts to that.
I
I think
feel like that's a terrible idea.
This is why I brought it up.
I think your conversation should stick to business and business only.
Well, the point of talking to him was to try to get a sense of things.
Yeah, so that's why you ask him about what he knows about the old ruins and what's in it and the history about the area, yada yada yada. Eggheads love that kind of stuff.
But I don't see how that will give us an idea of where his interests lie.
Oh, believe me, you get a feller talking long enough, he'll talk his head off.
Oh, I'm aware, but I suspect he might just go into interests that fall outside of determining whether he's a member of the cult or simply a man in over his head.
Well, once you discern that, then you'll know what road to take.
No, I'm saying I'm not sure how to discern that from those subjects of conversation.
Well, either he's weird or he's part of a death cult. I feel like it's not going to be very hard to tell the difference between the two.
You say that, but many people have a way of talking that can hide their intentions.
Oh, you're good at discerning that, ain't you? No, you just said you weren't. Never mind.
Uh, no, I said I wasn't sure I'd be able to do it within the parameters that you've suggested for the conversation.
Well, you don't want to know that we're going ahead, or that we know about the death cult, or are curious about the death cult, or are taking any serious considerations about the death cult. So leave that out of the conversation completely.
I only brought it up because it seemed reasonable that if if we've been wandering around town, we might have heard people murmuring about the subject.
And keep in mind that like you guys are separating, so it's up to James here to sabotage, and it's up to you to discern
Yeah,
information.
we know.
So ultimately, yeah, you
Yeah, I
guys,
know. I'm just talking about it before we split up.
yeah,
Maybe
okay.
don't talk about no death cult. Just talk about the curse
Right.
and
I
put.
think we can run around the edges and see how it goes. And I make meaningful eye contact with Josie.
There you go.
Very well.
All right, Franklin, you ready for some percussive maintenance?
Absolutely. Let's go figure out what car we're working on.
Alrighty. Real quick, I want to actually enter the hotel real fast, and I assume there's like a front desk guy.
Yes, there is. It's a
Okay.
If you go in, you will see a small, like older Hispanic lady who runs the hotel.
Aw. Uh, are there like any sets of keys set behind her, or
Yeah, so you'll see kind of like I don't know if you've seen like those old timey hotels, but they have like those little like columns like kind of next to each other with like
okay, cool.
that have like kind of lined up all the keys to all the rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And she has like some paperwork in front of her as well, but she kind of seems like a little sleepy old lady, you know. It's a very quiet hotel. There's not that many people.
Aw. Cool. James steps back outside and goes to Franklin and goes, "All right, so the front desk person is a little old lady, so we're not gonna have any trouble in terms of that. I imagine I could shoot a gun in there and she'd be like, "Oh, someone's knocking at the door."
All right. You wait. You're not planning on shooting a gun.
No, of course not. What? No, what I'm planning to do is I'm trying to get into his car, but I got to find out what car that is first. So, well, she might not have very good memory. You happen to know if there's a valet? That's the word I was looking for.
There is no valet. However, uh, I will say that it shouldn't be hard to figure out which one belongs to him because you should kind of see like kind of in the parking lot like there should be like a bunch of like pack mules like with a lot of supplies
Hmm.
and and there's like that's kind of all there really is. There aren't really any cars. Just a bunch of pack mules with a lot of supplies just kind of like stationed off and they're
And
just kind of
one Model T Ford.
yes, exactly.
You know,
Mm,
I venture to say this may be easier than we thought.
Never say never, my good spectacled friend. But yeah, it might be.
Yeah, you never know. Who knows what could happen? I'm just the keeper. I don't know anything.
Boy, wouldn't it be hilarious if his car was one of these pack mules? Boy, that'd be funny.
Uh,
Anyhow, let's go take a look.
all right, so now we're gonna do the party split, correct? So Ida and Jethro. Uh, what are you guys talking about together, and what are you guys gonna
I guess I'll kind of take Josie aside and be like, I think as long as we're careful about it, we can talk about anything we want. I think just don't say anything directly and maybe turn up the charm a little. See if we can get him talking. He might let some things slip.
I certainly think it's worth a try.
do? All right, so party splits a bit. We're going to actually start with uh, Jethro and so you guys enter the hotel and you see the small little Hispanic lady who's just kind of like looking at paperwork. She's very tiny, and then she kind of like looks at you and she goes like, in very broken English, she goes like, "Hello, can I help you?"
We're looking for a Mr. Larkin.
Oh, Mr. Augustus, yes.
Yes.
Uh, who are you?
Oh, we're working with him.
Oh,
Yes,
you go on expedition
yes,
Yes.
yeah. He asked us to check in with him today.
to check in. He has not left the hotel in days.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, is he unwell?
I believe he's okay. He's in the room next to the pale man. Pale man seems to be bringing him supplies.
Oh, yes, of course. Have you seen him in today, the pale man?
No, he is out. He does not usually come to his room.
Yes, it seems he gets around a lot.
Yes, yes. He is on the. They are on the second floor, and if you are looking at my map, you should probably tell that the two blacked out areas are the rooms that they are in.
Cool. Well, thank you very much.
No, yes, yes. Don't cause any problems.
I wouldn't
we
dream of it.
wouldn't. Yeah, we wouldn't dare.
Okay. So she goes back to doing what she's doing, and you guys kind of enter upstairs now here. So I'm gonna bring your tokens out.
I say to Josie, like, the pale man, it's Mendoza, right?
That that would be my guess. Yes.
I don't like where this is going.
does make me curious why he hasn't left the room or what Mr. Mendoza could have been bringing him. I mean, food, I suppose, potentially, but
Unless he is the food.
Oh shit.
oh, I had not considered that until now.
Well,
Do we know which room is which?
So the one all the way at the end is Augustus Larkin's room, and then the one next to it is Luis de Mendoza's.
Mr. Irvine, I don't suppose you know how to pick a lock.
just a second. Let me check my character sheet. Let me just recall in my memories here. I, unfortunately, no. I
Un-
haven't had much practice at it.
it is a 7.
Unfortunate. As one of the gentlemen downstairs do. But for now, I guess we should talk to Mr. Larkin.
I think we should at least see what's going on. Are there
So
windows in the doors?
no, there are no windows on the doors.
And knock on his door.
So
Mr.
yeah,
Larkin, are you in there?
you hear there's no response back.
It's Miss Van Rensselaer.
Mr. Irvine, Mr. Larkin, we had some questions for you.
You hear no response, so I need both of you to roll a listen roll.
Okay. Oh. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can't hear anything.
Well, that's concerning. Now I fear for his well-being.
It certainly doesn't bode well.
Should we try the door?
Yeah, let's go ahead. No need to get the receptionist involved or the owner involved if we don't need to.
After you?
Let's do it.
Okay.
And I'll try and open the door. Is it
Okay.
locked?
It is locked.
Can I? Okay.
I guess I'll just say, it seems like it's locked, but I did have a buddy try and teach me how to use a locksmith once. I might just give it a go.
Worth a try.
All right.
I'll be a lookout. Make sure nobody's watching us try to break into this man's hotel room.
Let's see how lucky I am
Let's
today.
see.
Not at all.
Oh,
Oh
and it's
wow!
an
You really
actual fumble.
Oh man.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
But I was looking out, so nothing bad happens.
Our first fumble of the game. There's no luck that can save you.
Oh, she
So
said not to cause problems, and we
I mean,
immediately caused problems.
she would have had to have 89 luck anyways. So
that's true. Jethro, as you begin to pick the lock, it snaps, and your lockpick breaks completely. So now the door is jammed. But also, unfortunately, Petunia, the small hotel proprietor, catches you completely in action. And as much as Ida Josie does not want her to see what you're doing, unfortunately, she did not cover you well enough. And she sees you picking the lock in action. And she runs
You
over to you.
violated the law.
Yeah, she runs over to you in old people speed. What are you doing? Are you trying to break into the man's hotel room? I will call the police. I will call the police.
no,
God, watch
thank
out! She's gonna
goodness,
get her sandal.
thank goodness that Mr. Larkin wasn't answering, and you said he's been here all day, and I'm sure he would answer because we, as you know, we leave for our expedition quite soon, and we have urgent questions. And he said to meet him here. we're worried something may have befallen him.
I'm gonna
This
need you
could be an
to.
emergency.
I'm gonna need
Oh,
you to roll a either charm, persuasion, or intimidate, whichever one's better.
Okay.
yay!
Persuade. Okay, perfect. So she's like, so she listens to you and she goes like, "Oh yes, yes, you're probably correct. Oh, but you didn't need to break my door."
Apologies.
Apologies. I'm happy to pay for the damage.
It's, I. She points to she points to you and she goes like, "I have a crowbar downstairs. We can try to, if he's not answering, then we can try to save him."
Wonderful. Thank goodness. Let's try that.
So she takes you guys downstairs and hands she hands you Ida, she hands you the crowbar and she goes like, "Please just do not break anything else."
How much do I think the door is worth?
$5. This is 1920s money, so like
Uh,
$5.
I give her $15.
Oh, now she's really happy.
Jethro's eyebrows raise.
All right, so now you have a crowbar. So now you can use a strength roll with a +10 bonus to your rolls
I give the
to whoever
crowbar to
uses it
Jethro.
to pry it open.
I take it. I hope you'll have a better shot at this than I would, I think.
Well, let's see. Here goes nothing.
So it's a 74. So it does not work. Like you're prying as hard as you can. You can't seem to get it open. However, you do have two options. You can use luck or you can push your roll.
Ooh. So it's 70, right?
Yeah, 74. Yeah. So you would only need 24 luck.
Could also go and fetch Mr. Whitaker if you think perhaps he would have a better chance. I think he was downstairs or outside looking for a drink, maybe.
I think I'm gonna use my luck. I think I
Yeah.
don't know because I don't know what they're getting up to.
No.
Okay. So you're gonna use 24 luck?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. How do
Yeah,
I?
no,
Oh, edit.
you just have to edit it out. So just remove 24. So with the luck, you're able to do it, and the crowbar pries open Mr. Larkin's room. And before we see what's in there, we're going to now switch over to James and Dr. Franklin.
What if he and Mr. Mendoza are just making out in there?
Oh, sorry,
He
we
kissed
didn't hear
me.
you,
He kissed me. He kissed me.
but in a good way.
He kissed me.
I mean, some people would be into the larva thing. I don't know.
Yeah, this is just we don't kink shame in here. All right, so James and Dr. Franklin. I do not have a map for the outside of the hotel, so we're just gonna have to wing it when it comes to
Sick.
Wow,
that.
such poor planning.
I hate you. Don't talk. Anyway, so you guys are outside. You see like a kind of like a small F-150 and a bunch of like little pack mules. But what you
Right.
don't see is behind the pack mules is a small pale man. It is not Louis de Mendoza.
Oh,
There's
who
more
is
than
it?
one pale man?
Could just be a normal dude. He's just a
It's like
pale
they're
guy.
vampires.
Maybe.
Uh, James immediately has like prickles on the back of his neck, and he puts his hand in his pocket. Uh, and before he actually like does anything, he's gonna try and see if he can identify who this is from a distance.
Okay. Let's see what. Let's see if there's a role for that. Let me see.
There isn't like a perception, is there? No.
There isn't really a role like that. So I guess best bet for a role like that would not be psychology. It would not be.
Excuse me.
Would it be spot hidden?
You know what? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
All right. Spot hidden.
I put a lot of points into that, so I know it.
Oh,
Oh.
Nice.
so with your extreme success, you can see that it is just a. It's a pale guy. He's kind of small, but there's nothing really weird about him. It's not Luis de Mendoza. He doesn't have any weapons on him. He just seems like a small, pale Hispanic man. With your extreme success, you can tell that he's like falling asleep, and he'll probably go
Oh.
to sleep like any second now.
Hmm. James looks to Franklin and goes, "Hey, Franklin, you see that feller?
Yes, yes, I see him. I
Keep
assume
an
I
eye
see him
on
because
him."
he's been pointing out to me. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Mhm.
pointing it out to you.
Okay.
All right, really quick. We gotta find out which car is Larkin's, first and foremost. Then, if that feller don't go to sleep, I need you to keep him distracted.
All right. Yes, I certainly. I can find a way.
All right. First things first, we gotta find the car. So, I think James is just gonna walk through, and I assume the nicer car out of all of these is likely to be Larkin's. So we're gonna look at that one first and see if
Yes.
there's no discernible way to make sure that it is in fact his car.
So as you go through, I will need you to do a spot hidden. You will need a hard
Ooh.
success here.
Oh boy, let's do this.
Both of us, or just.
You
Up,
can both roll, but one of you will need a hard success.
Oh,
that's a
I
failure
don't have
from
a
me.
good spot hidden, but let's find out. Nope.
So you once again, you can push or roll luck to push it to a hard success.
Ooh.
So what you will need, because hold on, I'm not great at math. Hard. On your character sheets, you have at the very top, it has your roll options. You can change it to hard. That way it'll so you
Oh.
can roll it so that it'll be that way. So for a spot hidden hard success, which I probably should have said that before I had
Well, I
you roll.
failed anyhow.
Yeah, so you would need a 27. So from your first roll, if you want to give up I believe that's 33, 34 luck.
Nah, I'm gonna push it.
You're going to push it?
I'm gonna push it.
I'm also gonna push it.
Oh, do we have a double fumble here?
Push it.
Okay, let's go.
I'll push it real
The
good.
potential for
Shit.
yes.
Fumble. Well, number 1,
And wait, you can't do luck on the
not on the push
when
roll.
you're pushing it, right? Okay. I'm pushing it anyway.
I'll
Nice.
push it real, homie. Oh my god.
Okay. So, we have 2 fumbles, 2 critical failures. So,
It's going great.
you both, none of you can find uh the cars at all. In fact, you pretty much dodge it every single time as you kind of look over it. You just completely miss anything that might lead to his vehicles. And at the same time, the man wakes up and he walks up to you and he speaks in Spanish. He's like, "What are you doing here? I need you to leave this hotel. This area is private property."
Uh, Franklin, I don't speak Spanish, but I do speak English. All right,
Whoops,
sir.
muted my mic.
Uh-huh.
Um, um, yeah, we're terribly sorry. We're actually, you know what? Can I have just a word with you? My friend here doesn't actually speak the language, and he's a foreigner. Like, just over here for a second.
He, because of your fumbles, does not listen and just very much just tries to. He starts pushing you a little bit. He's like, "Get out!"
Hey, hey, hey! No, no need to be hasty. just real quick, I'm gonna say he's. I don't think he's gonna listen at all.
Oh, well, if that's the case, and James is going to approach this small pale man, and he goes, "Listen, fella, if you know what's good for you, you're gonna leave us alone."
Roll intimidate.
Woof! I'm pushing it.
You're
Oh
gonna push
no.
it. Okay.
I was already doing a hard. All right, well, whoops. Pushing
Oh,
it.
he's gonna have such a bad
Hot
day.
damn. All right,
Oh,
cool.
oh, you fumble, and as you intimidating him has caused some other locals walking down the streets to come in, and they speak in Spanish that only Mr. Dr. Franklin can listen. And he goes like, "Sir, old man, are you okay? Is this foreigner bothering you?" And and now these two men that are coming after hearing the thing brandish their weapons at you.
Their weapons.
Yes, they
What,
are
they got
both.
guns?
They both have guns. They do have two pistols.
James looks at Franklin and goes, "It's a bust. Let's go."
All right, we're leaving. We're leaving.
Yeah, they look at you up and down, and that's where they're like, "Yeah, that's right." The old man, the old pale man, spits on the floor in an insulting way, and walk. And as you guys walk out of this area,
He spits on the ground.
yes,
James rolls up his sleeve and starts walking towards him and goes, "Hey, what's that mean?"
the two
Um,
now aim at you. They take out their gun and they're like, walk away in Spanish, yelling obscenities. And
okay.
now
Hey,
more people are
there's
starting to bring eyes out.
there's no need for any hostilities. I'm speaking in Spanish. My friend here's a little bit of a hothead. He has a good heart. He means no offense. We're just calm. It's everything's fine. No need for the guns. Please, please put the gun. We're not brandishing guns. There's no need for that.
They tell you in Spanish, since you seem to be the reasonable one here, they're like, just leave the hotel. We don't want to see you around here anymore.
It's hard to leave the hotel. We stay here.
Not anymore, you don't. We don't care where you go, but you can't stay here.
Surely you just there's we can have a conversation here. There's no need to be like that, right?
Now one of them aims at you.
Franklin, it's a lost
It,
cause.
it's time to go. It is time to go.
So you two should now be like leaving away from the hotel. Obviously, you're not going to go too far away from it. If you guys want to come back in, come back to this hotel, you will have to either roll a stealth roll, or you will have to kind of wait a couple
James is just gonna poke his head through the doors and goes, "Ida Jethro, it's a bust. We're leaving,"
hours.
and
Okay.
leaves.
I need
Why
the
would you do that?
now. I need a I need a Ida and Rachel to roll a listen roll to see if they even hear you.
Oh my god.
Okay. so so Ida, you hear it, but due to the quadruple fumbles outside, backup for you guys if something should happen is going to be tight.
Yeah, well, just because they failed don't mean we have to give up.
That's true. So
Yeah, we're just
now,
having a conversation. That's it.
so now that we're back to you guys, and it was a bust, as James so eloquently put it. Give me a second. So that door is now flown open, and how I need to reveal